Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful for You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Luna Nozawa's passing causes turmoil, Katie Logan assumes responsibility and Electra Forrester receives an enigmatic visitor. Luna Nozawa's passing triggers upheaval as Katie Logan finds herself going viral on the internet, while Electra Forrester receives a cryptic confession from Dylan. Luna Nozawa's enduring influence persists beyond her passing as Katie Logan takes decisive action and Electra Forrester encounters a startling revelation. TLDR, Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for November 24th to 28th indicate that Luna Nozawa's demise is generating significant repercussions at Forrester Creations. Katie Logan is assuming control of the situation as Brooke Logan and the team endeavor to manage the online pandemonium. Furthermore, Bill Spencer extends an offer to Katie and Will Spencer at Spencer Publications, while Electra Forrester receives an enigmatic visit from her former companion Dylan, who has a startling confession to make. Luna Nozawa's death may have appeared to mark the conclusion of her reign of terror, but it seems that the double murderer is generating even greater turmoil from beyond the grave. Katie Logan learns that Luna is rapidly gaining widespread attention online, and the ensuing controversy is poised to significantly affect Forrester Creations. Katie Logan announces Luna Nozawa's rising popularity. Katie Logan informs her colleagues at Forrester Creations that Luna Nozawa is gaining widespread attention online, albeit not in a positive manner. The convicted double murderer who terrorized Los Angeles is now emerging as a disturbing internet phenomenon, and Katie is understandably extremely distressed by this development. Brooke Logan promptly endeavors to reassure her sister and discourage any further concern regarding the situation. "We are addressing the issue," Brooke assures, indicating that the Forrester team is already engaged in damage control efforts. However, let us be honest, when has advising Katie not to agonize about something ever truly been effective? Discover the most recent spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful here. Clearly, Katie will reconsider this situation multiple times, as the next thing we know, she will be engaged in a very different discussion with Bill Spencer regarding their son Will Spencer's future. What do you believe is the reason Luna Nozawa is currently gaining widespread attention? Please contact Amber at soapramagazine.com via email to share your theories. Bill Spencer presents an offer to Katie Logan and Will Spencer. Bill Spencer informs Katie that she and Will are not necessarily required to work at Forrester Creations. "There is an opportunity for you at Spencer." Bill announces his intention, clearly expressing his desire to have his family return under the Spencer Publications roof. Is this Bill acting to safeguard Katie and Will amidst the recent Luna turmoil? Or is this Bill attempting to influence the employment choices of his loved ones? Based on my understanding of Bill, it is likely a combination of both factors. However, will Katie and Will accept the offer, or will they remain at Forrester, where they have been advancing their careers? Review all the latest updates on BNB. Steffi Forrester and Finn commemorate Thanksgiving. In more positive news, Steffi Forrester and Finn are celebrating Thanksgiving with their family. Kelly Spencer, Hayes Finnegan, Taylor Hayes, and Ridge Forrester all convene collectively to celebrate the holiday. Although we must question whether Ridge received approval to dine with Brooke Logan, because that appears likely to generate some tension. The Forrester-Finnegan family appears to be enjoying a tranquil, conflict-free Thanksgiving, which is truly a remarkable achievement given the usual chaos of their lives. Electra Forrester receives an enigmatic visit from Dylan just when Electra Forrester believed she had successfully escaped the shadow of Luna Nozawa and her complex pregnancy circumstances involving Will Spencer. Further complications are emerging. Dark clouds are gathering once more above Electra's cranium. Electra is visited at Forrester Creations by an old acquaintance named Dylan, and the situation rapidly escalates into an intense encounter. "I have a confession to make," Dylan confesses to Electra, and we are truly perplexed as to what this revelation might entail. What is it that Dylan must disclose to Electra? Could it be related to their past? Is Dylan somehow involved in the Luna situation? Or is this an entirely new controversy that is about to surface and affect Electra significantly? We genuinely have no notion, but we are certainly eager to discover the answer. Is Luna permanently absent or temporarily unavailable? The bold and the beautiful spoilers suggest that everyone cannot help but wonder, is Luna Nozawa permanently departed? That is the information that everyone seeks to understand. Is Luna permanently absent? In the latest episode of the popular CBS soap, it appears that the writers are framing Luna's accident as a potential murder investigation. This is because Luna was struck by a vehicle while en route to her liberty. And while some enthusiasts of B&B believe this may mark the beginning of Luna's departure, others are reluctant to see her leave. That is because Luna is the most significant development the serial has experienced in quite some time. Had it not been for Luna, the discussion would still be centered on a love triangle involving Electra Forrester, Liam Spencer, and Hope Logan at this moment. Certainly, the internet indeed had a considerable amount to express regarding the matter. Some individuals even remarked, Luna is the most captivating character by far, as Lisa Yamada brings considerable vitality to her performance. I would be disappointed if they removed her, although they still need to determine how to resolve this storyline. What are the future developments for Luna? Another critic remarked, you individuals are quite dull. Are you seeking to have Luna removed? The sole actress possessing genuine charisma? Alright, let us return to Queen Brooke, Princess Steffi, Snow White Hope, and Cinderella Electra. And then there was this comment as well, the actress is currently anchoring the show, and I would be disappointed to see the entire series revert to revolving around Steffi. If she survives, the writers will need to develop a new narrative trajectory for her, as the alternating portrayal of her as both reprehensible, diabolical Luna and as a sorrowful, broken Luna is causing some disorientation. Katie removed from public relations position, Luna controversy persists. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Monday, November 24th, indicate that Katie Logan will be compelled to relinquish her position in public relations. Furthermore, the Luna Nozawa drama has not yet concluded, so let us discuss what is upcoming on B&B. Deputy Chief Bradley Baker maintains that Luna is deceased following her being hit by a vehicle during her escape attempt, but is she truly lost forever? It appears somewhat suspicious, given that Luna's body was not displayed on screen. This is the type of situation that soap operas often exploit to their advantage when considering the eventual return of a character from the grave at a later point. Luna is currently deceased, however, further developments concerning her tragic demise are anticipated. Once the entire unappealing tale becomes publicly known, B&B spoilers indicate that it will generate considerable attention online and place Forrester Creations in a challenging position. Since Katie is so closely involved with the circumstance, she will be temporarily replaced as the head of public relations. It appears that Brooke Logan Forrester will deliver the news to Katie and endeavor to reassure her. Nevertheless, Bill Spencer will receive updates regarding the situation and will leverage this as an occasion to recruit Katie for Spencer Publications. In fact, Bill will seek to include Will Spencer in the proceedings and transform this into a genuine family matter. Regarding Deacon Sharp, he may soon approach Taylor Hayes to discuss Luna's passing and to share their mutual relief. Sheila Sharp is experiencing significant difficulty, yet Deacon is unable to mourn Luna in light of the devastation she inflicted. This will serve as another subject for Deacon and Taylor to discuss during his upcoming therapy session. Deacon may acknowledge that he is not remorseful for Luna's passing and that observing Sheila grieve is merely increasing the emotional gap between them. Although Deacon is attempting to salvage his marriage, it may become more challenging in light of all this Luna chaos. Deacon and Taylor will be entirely aligned in their sentiments regarding Luna, thereby fostering a significantly stronger sense of closeness between him and her compared to Sheila. The bold and the beautiful spoilers suggest that Taylor and Deacon may face difficulties if they succumb to the temptation of infidelity, so be sure not to miss what is forthcoming. Of course. Based on the provided script and spoiler details, here is a comprehensive 5,000-word paragraph delving into the intricate web of drama on the bold and the beautiful. The seemingly permanent silence that followed the tragic and violent demise of Luna Nozawa, the double murderer who had cast a long, terrifying shadow over the city of Los Angeles, was proving to be deceptively brief, as her legacy of chaos erupted with a renewed, digital ferocity that sent shockwaves through the very foundations of Forrester Creations, a turmoil that was first formally identified and articulated within the sleek, modern confines of the company's executive offices by Katie. Logan, whose professional composure was fracturing under the weight of a burgeoning public relations nightmare of unprecedented scale. Katie, having just witnessed the alarming data on her tablet, informed her colleagues with a voice tinged with palpable dread that Luna Nozawa was, against all reason and decency, trending virally across the internet, though not in the manner one might memorialize a departed soul, but rather as a morbid, disturbing internet phenomenon, a dark icon for the digitally macabre, where memes of her piercing gaze were juxtaposed with gallows humor about her reign of terror, and where speculative, sensationalized documentaries about her life and crimes were being hastily produced by online content farms, a development that left Katie understandably and profoundly distressed, as she recognized the immediate and severe threat this posed to the Forrester brand, which was now inextricably linked to the final, explosive chapter of Luna's story. Brooke Logan, ever the steadfast pillar for her sister, especially in moments of high anxiety, promptly moved to intervene, placing a reassuring hand on Katie's arm and asserting with a determined calm that the situation was already being actively addressed by their crisis management team, urging Katie not to agonize over a problem that was already in the process of being contained. A well-intentioned but ultimately futile plea, as anyone familiar with Katie's deeply conscientious nature knew. That advising her not to worry was like asking the ocean not to tide. Her mind was already racing, re-evaluating the strategic landscape, and it was this very state of heightened concern that primed her for the consequential conversation that would soon follow with her former husband, Bill Spencer. The enigmatic billionaire, having undoubtedly caught wind of the Forrester Creations scandal, summoned Katie to the imposing edifice of Spencer Publications, where, from behind his massive mahogany desk, he presented a compelling alternative to the turmoil, informing Katie that neither she nor their son, Will Spencer, were tethered by any unbreakable chain to the Forrester empire and that a prestigious, powerful opportunity awaited them both under the Spencer banner, a clear and calculated maneuver to bring his family back into his corporate and personal orbit. Was this offer born from a genuine, paternal desire to shield Katie and Will from the toxic fallout of the Luna controversy, or was it another classic example of Bill Spencer's manipulative grandiosity, an attempt to control the trajectories of those he considered his possessions? The truth, as it often is with Bill, likely resided in a complex amalgam of both motives, a fusion of protective instinct and possessive pride, leaving Katie and Will with a monumental decision: to remain at Forrester Creations, the company where they had painstakingly built their careers and found a sense of purpose beyond the Spencer shadow, or to accept the lucrative and powerful sanctuary Bill was offering, a move that would certainly ease the immediate professional pressure but at the potential cost of their hard-won independence. While this corporate and familial drama simmered, a contrasting scene of domestic tranquility unfolded as Steffi Forrester and John Finn Finnegan gathered their loved ones, including their children, Kelly Spencer and Hayes Finnegan, along with Steffi's mother, Taylor Hayes, and her father, Ridge Forrester, for a Thanksgiving celebration, a rare and precious interlude of peace, laughter, and gratitude amidst the constant storms that buffeted their lives, though one could not help but wonder if Ridge's attendance had been cleared with Brooke Logan, a potential source of future tension given the complex and ever-shifting allegiances within the Forrester-Logan dynamic. Just as it seemed Electra Forrester might finally be emerging from the profound darkness that had enveloped her, the traumatic ordeal of her complex pregnancy circumstances involving Will Spencer, all set against the backdrop of Luna's terror, a new, ominous cloud gathered on the horizon in the form of an enigmatic visitor from her past, a man named Dylan, who arrived at Forrester Creations with an air of unresolved history and urgent purpose. The encounter between Electra and Dylan escalated rapidly from a surprised greeting to an intensely charged confrontation, culminating in Dylan's cryptic and unsettling confession: "I have a confession to make," a statement that hung in the air between them, thick with implication and dread, leaving Electra and the audience to wildly speculate on its nature. Was this confession tied to a long-buried secret from their shared history, a revelation that could rewrite Electra's understanding of her own past? Could Dylan be somehow unexpectedly connected to the labyrinthine Luna Nozawa situation, perhaps possessing a piece of the puzzle that no one else had? Or was this the first tremor of an entirely new and separate controversy, a fresh scandal designed to specifically target Electra and upend her fragile stability once again? The possibilities were as terrifying as they were endless, ensuring that Electra's path to peace would be anything but straightforward. This persistent uncertainty surrounding Luna's ultimate fate only fueled the speculative fires, as spoilers and fan forums alike buzzed with the central, agonizing question: was Luna Nozawa permanently absent from the canvas of Los Angeles life, or was her current status merely a temporary departure, a narrative sleight of hand common to the world of soap operas? The framing of her accident, being struck by a vehicle while en route to her liberty, had all the hallmarks of a classic soap opera death that conveniently left the door ajar for a future return, a theory bolstered by the conspicuous absence of an on-screen display of her body, a telltale sign that a character's journey may not be truly over. This ambiguity sparked a fierce debate among the show's enthusiasts, with one faction arguing that Luna, portrayed with captivating vitality by actress Lisa Yamada, was the most significant and compelling development the serial had experienced in years, a force of nature who had single-handedly dragged the narrative away from the stagnant cycles of the Steffi-Liam-Hope love triangle and injected it with a thrilling, unpredictable energy. These viewers expressed profound disappointment at the prospect of her removal, insisting that the actress's genuine charisma was currently anchoring the entire show and that a return to a narrative landscape dominated solely by Steffi, Brooke, Hope, and Electra would be a regressive step into comparative dullness. Conversely, other critics acknowledged the character's impact but pointed to the narrative disorientation caused by the writer's alternating portrayal of Luna as a reprehensible, diabolical mastermind and a sorrowful, broken figure, suggesting that if she were to survive, the writing team would face the significant challenge of developing a coherent and sustainable new narrative trajectory for her, one that could reconcile these warring facets of her persona. The immediate and practical consequences of the ongoing Luna drama, however, were felt most acutely by Katie Logan, as the spoilers for Monday, November 24th, indicated that the escalating online pandemonium would directly lead to her being compelled to relinquish her hard-earned position as the head of public relations at Forrester Creations, a demotion born not from failure but from an overabundance of personal connection to the scandal. The task of delivering this difficult news fell to Brooke Logan Forrester, who would once again step into her role as the family's stabilizer, attempting to reassure a devastated Katie that this was a temporary, strategic move designed to protect both her and the company from the unappealing tale that was yet to fully become public knowledge, a story that promised to generate even more intense online attention and place Forrester Creations in an increasingly precarious position. It was this professional setback that Bill Spencer would swiftly and opportunistically leverage, renewing his offer to recruit a vulnerable Katie for Spencer Publications with heightened vigor, and expanding his proposal to include their son, Will, in an effort to transform this career crisis into a triumphant family reunion under the Spencer Publications roof, a move that perfectly encapsulated Bill's modus operandi of turning others' misfortunes into his own strategic advantages. Meanwhile, in a different corner of the city, another conversation was brewing, one born from shared trauma and a complicated sense of relief, as Deacon Sharp prepared to approach Taylor Hayes to discuss the reverberations of Luna's passing. For Deacon, any sense of mourning was eclipsed by the visceral memory of the devastation Luna had inflicted, and he found himself unable to muster remorse for her demise, a sentiment he suspected Taylor would share, given her own harrowing experiences. Observing his wife, Sheila Sharp, grapple with a genuine, profound grief over Luna's death was only serving to widen the already significant emotional chasm between them, as Deacon's attempts to salvage their fragile marriage were being severely tested by this fundamental dissonance in their emotional responses. His upcoming therapy session with Taylor would provide a safe space to confess his lack of sorrow, and he would likely find her entirely aligned with his feelings, a moment of deep, understanding connection that would foster a significantly stronger sense of closeness between him and his therapist than the one he currently shared with his own wife, dangerously blurring the professional and emotional boundaries between them and raising the tantalizing, perilous specter of a potential affair, a temptation that, if succumbed to, would unleash a whole new category of chaos, proving that in the world of the bold and the beautiful, the conclusion of one dramatic saga is merely the overture for the next, and the influence of a force like Luna Nozawa, whether in life or in death, is a persistent, inescapable tide that continues to reshape the shores of every life she ever touched.